Thank you, Jason. Wendy, first of all, pretty big title you got here in your first year, too. How's it going so far?
It's going interesting. There's a lot of work behind it that I've seen from behind the scenes, being the secretary for the past 8 years. So after having that experience, I kind of knew what I was getting into, but not really.
How exciting is this new partnership? The Wolves do so much for the community and surrounding areas, a lot of charity work, but now all of a sudden we've got a couple of nice relationships too in the hockey, in the game hockey.
We're very excited. We've been looking to partner with the Wolves for quite a few years now. I've been talking with a couple of the people behind the scenes here at the Wolves, and just been looking for ways that we can partner together and make the world of hockey grow. We have to have a partnership that helps both your professional league and our youth league. It's a great partnership working with the kids and the adults, having something for those children to look forward to in the future. They have heroes to look up to. They have games that they can go to all the time, inspiration to have at all times.
It's awfully fun for a youngster, too, to come to a game and see these players play, as you kind of mentioned. So today, there's squirts and peewees, I believe, right? And they're going to be during the national anthem on the ice with the players, I believe. And then intermissions. How did you go about picking who was getting what there in that situation?
So that was very interesting. Having a bunch of the parents call, they're like, we want our kids on the ice, how do we get it? So we had to leave it up to the clubs individually. We decided that there was a couple of different ways that we could do it. We wanted to really represent, those underdogs. We wanted the kids that, went out of their way to work hard. We wanted those kids that were putting forth the effort, the good, the good sportsmen-like. We wanted those kids out there, the ones that had, the good hockey mindset to go out there. So we let each club individually pick either whether they wanted to do good sportsmanship or if they wanted to do, out of a draw of a hat, something as simple as that, just to keep it fair. We wanted as many kids to get out there as possible. And I know with this partnership, we're going to be able to do this for the next couple of years. So if they were a squirt last year and next year they're a peewee, they could have that another opportunity to come out onto the ice and get this experience.
I was talking to your husband and kids, and my son played for a number of years too with the Chiefs. And one of the things I did like, and I want to ask you about, and I'm not sure how this came about itself, but you have two real leagues. You have a fall league where they play 20 games, and you have a spring league where they play 12. And I think it gives families an option, and a kid too if he wants to play another sport. So how did that come about, and how's it going with that?
So that came about exactly with what you were talking or speaking on. We had that issue where we had kids that were playing travel hockey, but they didn't have time to do anything in the spring because that's usually when kids try to develop other sports. They try to go into softball, baseball, lacrosse is a big, huge one. So with spring, we decided to make it a shorter season so that we could have other players be multidimensional in their sports. It was kind of a win-win on both parts. We could have those players have those other team experiences and then bring them back to hockey in the fall season, learning what they learned with their spring season or summer season clubs.
What people may not know too is there's over 250 different teams too. How does that all come about, and how do you make it all work?
A lot of help. I have a lot of help behind the scenes. We try and get together for a monthly meeting. Each club sends a club representative. So each club that we have in the organization has a club representative. That club representative goes to each meeting and then relays the information back to the clubs as they're needed. That usually helps get a lot of the problems out, because at the meetings we open up the floor to our clubs. So if they have any issues, if they have any concerns, they can bring it up to us and we can change it right there. We could have the entire league vote on something that night if we have an issue, and then bring it the next day and say, hey, we all voted on this. This is what the consensus said. So we have a lot of help and a lot of volunteers. Yeah, it's really nice to see the community come out and really help.
One of the things also, my son played also with the Blues, and they had gold, silver, bronze, and have these teams, and sometimes you don't get a lot of ice time. You have a concept that I really do enjoy because it's kind of equality. It's called BIT.
It's called BIT. So BIT stands for Balanced Ice Time. It's not saying that you're going to get to play, everyone gets an even 5 minutes every game. That's not how it is. It's equitable. Everyone gets time on the ice. Say you get a little bit more time this game, the next player's going to get a little bit more time. It's keeping it rolling lines. We don't want you to be running power plays or penalty kill lines. We want you to be rolling those lines so everyone gets a chance to play and everyone's getting as much ice time as possible. We want to keep it fair and we want to keep the kids on the ice.
So let's talk about your family. How do you do what you do and also have your kids play the game of hockey and maybe nieces, nephews, etc.?
Well, it's a lot of work. Thankfully, I actually have a new driver in the house. My oldest is now old enough to help with my younger one, but back in the day when my oldest was younger, it was between my husband and I, who would get out of work first was the next person to take that one to practice. Then you had games every weekend. We had a lot of help from family, a lot of help from friends, other hockey families. I don't know how many times that we would have 2 games at once and, the neighbor next door that played, let me take him. You go to that game, you take these kids. It's a community.
Gosh, I remember those days. It's so much fun. I'll tell you, once you get to my age, it's all over with it. It's not so much fun. You wish you were back at a younger age to watch your kids grow and develop. Again, just before you go, the Wolves, pretty excited. Again, this is going to be a great relationship for a number of years.
It's going to be a great relationship. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Well, enjoy tonight, Wendy, and best of luck the rest of the way here this year.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the second intermission after this.